We invite the children to come forward at this time for the children's message. Now, I do this different than Pastor Wixon does. So I brought some things myself rather than going into the box, okay? You recognize what this is? Soap, yes. You know what this is? Huh? No. It's like perfume. It's cologne for men, okay. You know there was a time that they hadn't invented soap yet? So children didn't hear from mom and dad when they come to the table ready to eat. Did you wash your hands? Huh? So what did they do? Well, you know what? After a while, you begin to smell, wouldn't you? Huh? Well, they took care of it by just spraying a little bit. And then they weren't any cleaner, but they smelled better. So nobody noticed anything. Huh? Well, you know what? You can do that. But if you still have dirt or so on, well, they took a bath once in a while, but they just used a little water. They didn't have all the soap and all those other things. So you had to be careful. You didn't want to get dirty. But anyway, one day, they invented soap. So people started to use that because now they really were clean. And they didn't have to worry just with this cologne or perfume, whatever it is, to smell better because now they had washed. But, you know, there were some people who thought, oh, I still like the old way. I'm just going to do a little, I don't want to use the soap. Well, they may have pretended that they were clean and maybe they smelled better, but they still had a problem. They were still not good smelling. Huh? They weren't really clean. Well, one day, Jesus came to the River Jordan to be baptized by a man by the name of John the Baptizer, or John the Baptist. And John says, why are you coming to me? You don't need to repent. You don't need to have baptism as a sign that you're dedicating yourself to God. You already are perfect. But Jesus said, let it be now so that we can fulfill all righteousness. So Jesus took our place and he was baptized. And when he came out, God was pleased with him and showed it by the dove that came and sat on his head or shoulder. I don't know where it sat. The Bible didn't say. And the voice that came from heaven, this is my son, with whom I'm well pleased. Listen to him. Well, you know what? Jesus was marked in the waters of baptism for you and me. But you know what? You also have been marked. Huh? When you were baptized, God made you perfect. What Jesus did for us becomes our own. So God looks at us and he doesn't see us as dirty or smelly or anything else. God says, you are my child. You are perfect. See, the water of baptism really makes us clean. It just doesn't cover up and nasty all of it because God has taken care of it. And because we are baptized, every day we can say, I'm a child of God, so I want to live for him, just like Jesus did. And if I fail, because we do, don't we? We don't always listen to mom and dad. We don't always clean our room. We don't know. That's all right. Well, I shouldn't say it's all right. But when we come to God, God says, I forgive you and I understand. But try to do better next time, okay? So that's what we do. And I thank you for coming up.